Hi everybody, welcome to Oxford News This Week. I'm Terry Stiles with my co-host Jim Hughes. And in this week's news, a false bomb threat targets Oxford High School, varsity basketball player hits huge milestones, and what the presidential primary results means for Michigan. Sit back, the Oxford News begins right now. A false bomb threat targeting Oxford High School led to secure protocol and early dismissal last week. Early that morning, school officials received an email from an unknown person claiming to have a bomb inside a car in the parking lot. The threat was to detonate the bomb. School officials then contacted the Oakland County Sheriff Office, which brought a specially trained explosive detection canine unit and a significant number of personnel. With the school on protocol, deputies determined the bomb threat was not credible. In the Sheriff Computer Crimes Unit, they say the email points to a suspect in Malaysia. Oxford School released the statement saying the investigation cleared the parking lots and the cars and that students were dismissed out of caution. Sheriff Mike Bouchard says the Sheriff's Office will attempt to prosecute the person that's responsible, no matter where they are in the world. Jim?
Thanks, Terry. More data from the ongoing district recovery plan was discussed during last month's Oxford School Board meeting. Dr. Vicki Markovich updated and included a decrease in the reported instances of bullying. According to Dr. Markovich, at that point in the school year at 2023, during the survey, the instances of reported bullying were in the teens. This year, the number only 6, a value acceptable, Dr. Markovich says, significantly lower than the district has ever seen. 5 investigations concluded the situation was not bullying, while now the 6th incident, it was determined that bullying was involved. Dr. Markovich also discussed compliance with drills, certification. 93% of the campus crisis teams have received prepare training for school crisis prevention. 88% of the district crisis team has received the training. 105 staff members, additionally 187 staff members have also received restorative practice training. The plan is to expand and train all Oxford Community Schools staff and leadership. Training is scheduled in late June. Terry?
Seems to be good news. Since mid-February, Oxford Community School Systems have been announcing its 2024 Teachers of the Year. From elementary to high school through virtual academies, Oxford Virtual Academy's Elementary Teacher of the Year is Amy, looks like Winghorse, and I hope I didn't mess it up, and Secondary Teacher of the Year, Molly Darnell. The official Oxford Community Schools Teachers of the Year, both of them. The pair have been nominated to represent Oxford in the Oakland School Teacher of the Year competition. The other Oxford School Teachers of the Year at their respective schools are Dan Miller, Jenny Rondy, Brad Schmaltz, Danielle Collins, Jessica Warrington, Jennifer, it looks like Coggins, and Carly Hale. Congratulations to all of the educators who are making a difference for their students every day. To learn more about each of the teachers, visit the Oxford Schools Facebook page. Congratulations, everybody. Jim?
And now a traffic update for something that could impact your travel in and around Oakland County. The Road Commission for the Oakland County and the Michigan State Department of Transportation, from now into the later part of fall, southbound 75 will be reduced to 2 lanes from Baldwin Road to Genesee County to M15. Beginning in mid-March, northbound and southbound 75 will have traffic shifts and 8 entrance and exit ramps closed down. This will also include entrances onto northbound 75 from M15, Dixie Highway, East Holly Road, and Saginaw Road, and southbound entrances from Saginaw Road and Dixie Highway. There are also closures on northbound the exit 101 and southbound exit 106. Those are Renaissance Festival exits, so you might have to plan accordingly. The project for pavement markings and resurfacing will install traffic control devices and realign barrier walls to make the traffic shifts. The work is part of the Michigan Department of Transportation's $160 million four-year project to resurface 75 from Mortonville Road in Oakland County and Genesee County. Terry.
The Oxford Public Library is collaborating with the Michigan Activity Pass to bring free discounted opportunities to library card holders. The Michigan Activity Pass is a statewide collaborative program between Michigan Public Libraries and participating partner destinations. Cardholders can obtain free or discounted admission passes for museums, recreation areas, and cultural locations throughout the state with the pass. There are over 60 available locations within the 36 miles of Oxford, including Sea Life Aquarium, Meadowbrook Hall, 2 golf courses, and even recreation areas. For additional information on the program and to see a list of participants, visit the Michigan Activity Pass website at miactivitypass.org. Jim.
The Oxford Addison Youth Assistant released its 2023 annual report this past Tuesday, the 27th. The nonprofit organization hosts a variety of community programs and methods of strengthening youth and families to prevent and reduce juvenile delinquency or child neglect or even child abuse. In the past years, the organization assisted nearly 1,000 children and young adults through education, emergency funds, scholarships, skill building, and more. The team of 17 volunteers put in over 600 hours, and caseworker Stacy Williams provided services to nearly 130 families during the year. The team implemented a large variety of prevention to make the Oxford, Addison, and Leonard communities a better place to live, work, and play. For a more comprehensive list of the programs and the organization's partnerships with governmental agencies along with the schools, visit the Oxford Addison Youth Assistance Facebook page. Terry.
Last month, Michigan residents flocked to the polls to vote in the presidential primary elections. Both Presidents Biden and former President Donald Trump won their respective party primaries in this state. Statistically, primary voters' participation nationwide hovers around 66%. Participation locally, the top percentage of Tuesday's primary voters was 60% in Novi. Oxford Township averaged well below the nation average at 38%, and Addison Township averaged a little better at 38.4%. Jim?
The Village of Oxford Council unanimously approved a newly amended purchasing ordinance at its last public meeting, amending the ordinance from July of 2023, the attempt at reviewing bids for village office parking lots rehabilitation project. At the time, council received several bids and actually was forced to take the highest bid from Birmingham Seal Coat, even though it was 17% higher than the engineers estimated its cost. Due to the purchasing ordinance already in place, the ordinance then gave local preference clause causing the village to give to a local bidder consideration as the lowest bid. This gave council cause to rework the ordinance program, and the approved amendment states bidders located in the Village of Oxford who are within 5% but no more than $5,000 higher, the responsible low bid may be given the opportunity to match the low bid amount with no substantial difference in services or materials. Township bidders will come within 3% and no more than $3,000 higher to be given consideration. Terry.
In this week's Behind the Lens, student CJ and his classmates have a clothing drive. 9-year-old CJ is a student at Oxford Elementary who saw someone walking in the rain and was motivated to help people in need. After his mom reached out to the local nonprofit Oxford Open-Handed, CJ toured the clothes closet, for kids and families in need and decided to hold a kids' clothing drive. He and his classmates collected multiple bags worth of gently used, warm kids' clothes, shoes, and new packs of socks and undergarments. Way to go, kids. Thanks for your hard work.
Always love the last story.
Honest.
And it's good stuff that people are doing. And if you
So
have a last story,
sweet.
you can email us and we'll put it on as well, you know.
Yeah.
Good stuff there.
Really good stuff.
Great story there. Well, up and coming, we know we have Dave Kenny. He'll have Auto Talk, Science, and the News. I'll have a look at our sports. And I do believe at the end of this very newscast, Terry and I will close it out. You are watching another edition of Oxford News This Week. Don't go away.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Welcome to this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and these stories are taken from Automotive News. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration said Stellantis will recall over 338,000 Jeeps in the U.S. over an issue that might result in the loss of vehicle control. Dealers will replace the upper control arm pinch bolts free of charge in impacted vehicles, NHTSA said on February 28th. The agency said the upper control arm ball joint and steering knuckle might separate and cause the wheel to fall outward, leading to loss of control. The recall covers certain 2021 to 2023 Grand Cherokee vehicles. Stellantis told NHTSA it was aware of 18 warranty claims, and as of January 24th, it was not aware of any accidents or injuries related to the issue. In our next story, Toyota to recall over 280,000 U.S. trucks, SUVs, over concerns of unexpected movement. Toyota Motor Corporation said it will recall 280,663 trucks and SUVs and issue a software update to address concerns over unexpected movement caused when the vehicles are neutral and brakes are not applied. The recall includes certain Tundra hybrids, and Lexus LX 600 vehicles produced between 2022 and 2024, as well as Sequoia SUVs manufactured last year, Toyota said in a statement on February 21st. Certain parts of the transmission may not immediately disengage when the vehicle is shifted into the neutral position. Toyota said this in a statement, "This can allow some engine power to continue to be transferred to the wheels and allow the vehicle to inadvertently creep forward at a low speed when it's on a flat surface and no brakes are applied, leading to an increased risk of a crash." Dealers will issue a free software update on impacted vehicles for the transmission control ECU, or electronic control unit, software, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration said. Vehicle owners will be notified of the fix by the end of April, Toyota said. And still at Toyota, Toyota Motor North America is recalling more than 400,000 Tacoma midsize pickups globally because of a manufacturing defect that could cause a part to loosen and fall off. The recall covers certain Tacoma pickups from the 2022 to 23 model years. About 381,000 vehicles in the U.S. are affected. Welding debris left on the ends of the rear axle assembly during manufacturing could cause certain retaining nuts to loosen over time and eventually fall off, potentially causing a part to separate from the axle, Toyota said February 27th in a news release. If separation occurs, this can cause vehicle stability and brake performance increasing the risk of a crash. A Toyota spokesman declined to comment on whether the automaker was aware of any injuries, crashes, or death related to the issue. To fix the defect, dealers will inspect the rear axle assembly and tighten the rear retaining nuts. If the axle components are damaged because of the defect, they will be repaired or replaced. Toyota said it will notify affected customers by late April. Well, that's it for this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny. Stay tuned to Oxford Community Television.
My son Ian was diagnosed with a brain tumor at the age of 16 months. The outlook was pretty rough. We had no hope until St. Jude rescued us. I mean, they saved him. But then it turned out he had a second cancer. To this date, we are 12 years into this journey, and from day one, we've never once seen a bill. It gave us the peace of mind to know that we're there with our son, and we're gonna beat cancer together. Now, he is doing really, really well. He's alive because of what St. Jude has done. He's here because of the doctors who came before, their blood, their sweat, their tears, of every day being in that hospital, the knowledge that has been accumulated and shared with everyone else around the world. This is how we get rid of this, how we help kids beat cancer all over. It's the future.
Back with you in Oxford Sports, and yes, what a great winter sports season. In the latest sports report, Oxford High School varsity basketball player reached a milestone of 1,000 career points. Junior Jake Champagne hit the milestone the week of the 18th of February. Champagne now sits second of all-time Oxford boys basketball history scorers with 1,029 career points as of the 24th. The boys basketball team ended their season falling 64-46 in the district semifinal to Grand Blanc on the 28th. Champagne scored 30 of that team's points, and the boys ended their season with 14 wins and 9 losses. Again, that game can be seen here on OCTV. As the winter sports season does wrap up, yes, a little bittersweet, but we'll see spring sports right around the corner. Oxford girls bowling team remains strong. They finished in the second place of the MHSAA Regionals. It spins Bowl in Waterford on the 23rd of February and 24th, the dual meet, which advances them to the state finals. Senior Kylie Penzian and freshman Ellie Wright both qualified for the MHSA individual state finals and the championship. Penzian took 7th place overall. Wright finished with 3rd. Congratulations and good luck to the Wildcats. I want to thank JR, who is also the voice of Oxford football and a coach of that very bowling team. That's going to wrap up in sports. I do believe Dave Kenny will have another segment. Terry and I will be back here to clean it all up and say goodbye. You're watching this edition of Oxford News This Week.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
Welcome to Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny, and this story is taken from New Scientist, and it's all bananas. A genetically modified banana has been approved for growing on farms for the first time. Regulators in Australia and New Zealand have given the go-ahead to a strain of Cavendish banana altered to be resistant to a devastating fungal disease that has spread to many countries worldwide. The Office of the Gene Technology Regulator in Australia issued a license permitting the commercial growth of the modified banana on February 12th. On February 16th, Food Standards Australia and New Zealand approved it as a food, concluding that it is as safe and nutritious as conventional bananas. The food ministers of Australia and New Zealand can request a review of the decision in the next 60 days. If they don't, the approval will be final. The first banana to be widely eaten in Western countries was a variety called Gros Michel, or Big Michael. But by the 1950s, the spread of the Fusarium fungus strain called Tropical Race 1, or TR1, which causes Panama disease, forced farmers to switch to the Cavendish banana. Although it reportedly doesn't taste as nice as the Gros Michel, the Cavendish is highly resistant to TR1. Now, another strain of Fusarium called TR4 is spreading worldwide. It can kill many varieties, including the Cavendish. A team led by James Dale at the Queensland University of Technology in Australia created the resistant strain of banana called QCAV-4 by adding a gene from a wild banana. This decision is a very important step towards building a safety net for the world's Cavendish bananas from TR4, which has impacted many parts of the world already, Dale said in a statement. In Australia, quarantine measures are currently limiting the spread of TR4, with only a small number of outbreaks each year. So for now, there are no plans to grow the QCAV4 banana on a large scale or to sell it to consumers. However, other countries where TR4 is more of a problem may decide to adopt the genetically modified banana. Dale's team now plans to use CRISPR gene editing to make the QCAV4 banana resistant to another fungal disease called black sigatoka, which could mean it is even more appealing to farmers. A team in Kenya has already used CRISPR to create a strain of the Ganja manjaya variety that is free from banana streak virus, a pathogen that integrates itself into the genome of bananas. Genetically modified, or GM, crops are now widely grown in many countries worldwide, but in some places, such as the UK and European Union, few have been approved for farmers to grow. In Australia, only 4 GM crops have been previously approved. They are a safflower, whose oil has a higher level of oleic acid, and herbicide-resistant strains of rapeseed, which is canola, and Indian mustard and cotton. However, Australia and New Zealand have approved a wider range of GM crops and products for eating, similar to the situation in the EU and UK. And that's a very appealing story. Well, that's it for this edition of Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny.
And is this with the doctor or is this with the nurse practitioner? Fantastic. Dad, lunch. Got some soup for you.
You are loved.
Oh, you. Look at those freckles.
This was very much.
You are valued. You are strong. You are resilient. You got this.
You're there for them. We're here for you. Find free care guides to support you and your loved one at aarp.org/caregiving.
On October the 4th, my daughter was diagnosed with a rare malignant rhabdoid tumor on the spine. When I received the diagnosis with my daughter, my hope was gone. When we first made it to St. Jude, my baby couldn't sit up on her own at all. The tumor had pressed up against her spine to the point where it basically paralyzed her. She couldn't feel her feet or anything like that. And just to see her start to make those steps after treatment, take your time, one step at a time.
Take my time. Take my time.
We rise
Good
up.
job, baby.
I like the way I rise up. I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up. And I'll do it 1,000 times again.
It was just like a miracle. It was amazing. I was like, thank God for St. Jude.
In our last story this week, she's in her reading era. Brand new business, Era Bookstores, is opening in the Oxford Mills Shopping Center from the vision of owner and Oxford High School grad Megan Riker. Riker says opening a bookstore has been a lifelong dream, and now in her new 4,000 square foot square space, customers can, and more than 1,000 titles from fantasy to mystery, they can get whatever book they want. That she also has youths and children's books. Her space also includes a cozy reading and gathering area with a fireplace as well as a cafe serving coffee and tasty treats. Riker plans to use Era Bookstore to bring everyone together, welcoming book clubs and trivia game nights. The store's grand opening was on March 2nd. It is open from 10 to 6, Monday through Wednesday, 11 to 8, Thursday through Saturday, and 11 to 8 on Sunday. For more information, call her at 248, it looks like 672-7001, or that's 572-7001. Read it at the bottom of the screen, Jim.
Good stuff. You know, and you know
So
what?
hard to see
She
that.
opened it up at a good time because March is National Reading Month.
Yeah, perfect, isn't it?
We,
yeah.
well,
Good for
we
her.
had a story last week about the young kids that had the book club, and you know, you don't see many of them around anymore. And it's
No.
kind of cool that I believe Oxford had one years ago, years and years ago in the downtown area. But this is going to be
For the
great to
kids.
see things happening there, and maybe people having a cup of coffee and enjoying the ambiance of a book.
They also have a senior book club, so that's a great place for all of them to gather. That's really, really cool.
Yes.
Good for her. You know, I've been so discouraged because we've lost so many bookstores around.
Right.
So I'm glad to see that she's got the chutzpah to open something up. We all need to go down and say hi to her and welcome her.
Do we have our
in.
cameras there yet, or maybe we should schedule a
We
camera?
will,
Okay.
yep. Oh, for sure. You can see it in our community access.
Oh, cool.
An interview with her.
That'll be good. Good
Yep.
stuff. Looking forward to that opening.
Yep.
In fact, I want to go down there and take a look myself, grab a cup of Joe.
You
know?
should go do the interview. That's awesome.
Okay, she hired me to do it.
I
Okay?
just roped him
and
into
because
it.
and because it's a thing of joy, I won't even have to get paid for it.
Oh,
okay?
that's awesome. See, he volunteers a lot of his time here.
There you go.
Thank you, Jim.
Anyways, hey, we just before we close out here, anything you want to add before I was just going to say
I'm all set.
thanks to the entire sports that we've been covering. A lot of girls basketball, a lot
Yep.
of boys basketball,
That
and
was a fun
everything
season.
in between. And I tell you, there are a lot of parents that are out there. They're seeing the broadcast. We're having a great time and getting ready for spring sports and
Yeah.
softball and baseball, which I tend to have to put on the. You got to bundle up and you go out there and do that.
Bundle up one day, umbrella the next day, sunglasses the next day. You never know. Keep it all in your car. and
Your,
then
son,
we-
your
you're
sons all
prepared.
played baseball too when they
Yes.
were in, right?
Yes, I'm a
So
baseball mom.
You knew how it was.
Oh yeah, soccer mom and baseball.
I
mom.
came in the first time I ever covered, and I was like, Terry, it is so cold out there. And she's like, grow up, you know. Anyways, that's going to wrap it up for this newscast. And as always, we are so happy you decided to make us a part of your day. We use our news gathering sources for helping us out. This week's news was gathered from the Oakland County Sheriff's Office, Oxford Community School, the Road Commission, also the Public Library, and youth assistance, many, our Oxford Athletic Department as well. Again, many of our sources, you can see that at the end of our newscast. We definitely appreciate them for helping us out. OCTV can be viewed on Spectrum Charter Channel 191, Channel 99 on the AT&T Uverse system. Also check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, and where else can you watch there, Terry?
We have a Fire Stick now and Roku.
Roku, that's
yep,
what I
we're on
watch.
Fire Stick as well now.
If you have any show ideas, you'd like to volunteer at OCTV, there's a phone number they can call. Do you know what number that is, Terry?
248-628-9658.
Trying to include Terry.
We'll
in it.
answer.
We're trying to include you on the close.
Well,
here,
thank
you
you.
know.
I appreciate
A
that.
special thank you to our producer, director, who runs around all the time, Kyle Snage, our news writer extraordinaire, Allison Miller, also our programmer, Connie Miller, station manager, Terry Stiles, who just helped me do the close. For more information, or for everyone here at OCTV, I'm Jim Hughes, hoping you have a safe week. I invite you back next time, and again, we will take a look at Oxford News this week. Have a great week, everyone.
Happy March.